Guys, welcome to the first 413 Barbell Club Faith and Fitness podcast. I'm the host and founder of 413 Barbell Club, Doug Odom, and I'm going to talk about my journey, for lack of a better term. That's kind of a dramatic word, journey. But I'm going to talk about how I became a fitness coach and what got me into fitness and my story so far. Because if you've ever felt like you're putting in all the work but weren't getting the results, this is going to be for you. Here I am. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the slides. If you're listening, just hang with me. But picture this. I was always an athletic kid, but I was never super lean, never saw my abs, wasn't overly muscular or anything like that at all. But, I was happy with the way I looked. But I got to a point training, I remember in 2009, I had my appendix taken out. And the anesthesiologist was like, "What do you do for fun?" And first thing I said was work out. I was like, I thought about all the work, 5, 6 workouts a week. Was it really getting me the results for the time I was putting in? And that's when I knew I needed to make a change. And later in 2009, I joined a gym. I was student teaching, and Scott Heaton, if you're listening, thank you. You invited me to Elizabeth and Fitness Center, not only to work out, but to be your workout partner. And that's when I really took things to the next level. And I really got bitten by the iron bug. I'd kind of already been bitten. I started lifting in high school in my den. But I guess this time I got bit by a bigger, more poisonous bug. And things were going pretty well. On the left, I'm showing a before and after picture. You can see the left is actually post-workout kind of pumped. And the picture on the right is first thing in the morning, not pumped. So I look kind of the same, but when you consider one of them is with a pump, one is without, it's a pretty good change. And I met my wife, and we were getting married, and I was really killing it one summer. And I still didn't have abs. And I was like, okay, I'm going to crush it this summer, because I heard that Thor, when training to be, or Chris Hemsworth, when training to be Thor, he just really killed it, He just took things to the next level. Maybe I wasn't working hard enough, So I started doing just absolutely stupid amounts of weight, heavier than I should have been using. And it led me to gain some muscle, but it came with a price. And you can see here I am at the beach on my honeymoon, still didn't have abs. I had bulked up to about 188, 190 pounds here from like 175, 180. So I'd put on the muscle, but it came with a price. Due to my haphazard, idiotic style of lifting, I got some golf elbow, medically called medial epicondylitis. And basically, what had happened, I'd gotten so strong so quickly and was using such heavy weights. Your muscles are only part of the equation. You also have to train in a way that's healthy for your joints. And I had absolutely just destroyed my right and left elbow. And it ended up being a 14-month journey. I've got a picture up of my garage gym here in the house we moved in. During that time, I was kind of just slowly lifting, getting back into it. Like I said, it was a 14-month 14-month rehab, basically. And during that time, I was like, okay, what was I doing wrong, and what could I do better in the future? And I found Reg Park. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger's mentor. And Reg had a lot of different lifting styles. He did a lot of different routines, but he was famous for full body workouts and 5x5 training. I'd never done full body workouts. We always did a bro split at Elizabeth and Fitness, P90X, stuff like that I'd tried before at home. So I started trying the Reg Park stuff, and I had to go light because my elbows, I couldn't hold much weight on my back for squats. I couldn't pick up much weight with deadlifts. I couldn't press much, couldn't curl much. Everything was affected by my elbows. But I slowly started progressively overloading. Next thing I know, um, I was going back to the gym along with working at the garage some. And when I did go to the gym, I was getting all these compliments because I was eating and bulking up just like Reg said to do. And people were like, Doug, man, what are you doing? I need your routine. And one day I almost told the guy, he goes, wait, no, I'll pay you for it. And that's when a light bulb went off. It was like, okay, my style of lifting is definitely different than what other people are doing. And maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe I shouldn't give out information for free. Maybe I should become a personal trainer. And I looked at my notebooks. I was like, okay, how am I going to kind of program people's workouts? What's going to be my style? Now I would say I don't have a style. I just train people specifically for their goals. But back then I had a style for sure. And I looked and I had 4 compound lifts I was focusing on. Okay, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press. And then I had a lot of isolation exercises, And I looked, hold on, there was 13 isolation movements. So I said, okay, 4 and 13. I knew I wanted a faith-based brand anyway. And, during my time when I was kind of had a chip on my shoulder, I was trying to gain that muscle. I was lifting aggressively. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was fueled by a lot of anger. And I wanted to have a faith-based brand so people, wouldn't get fueled by anger. Because a lot of people talk about lifting angry, and I wasn't a fan of that. That wasn't like an artistic way to approach fitness. It was, just a dark place to me. And a lot of people talk about being self-made, and I wanted to emphasize that, everything you have in life, whether it's from a hobby or your job or a family, everything is a gift from God. It's completely by the grace of God that you have anything. It's completely by the grace of God that you're alive. You may not know that now, but one day you will. And that I kind of wanted that to be the backbone of what my brand was about. So I was like Philippians 4:13, and then having 4 compounds and 13 isolation movements at that time anyway. Not that I do that for everybody or did that for everybody, but just that was my routine at that moment. When I was creating this brand was, to me, the only thing I needed to see. And I started 413 Barbell Club. As you can see here in the picture, I'm wearing one of my t-shirts. And during this time, I was personal training on the side from teaching. And, it was going okay. But then in summer 2016, I was contest prepping. And you can see the 12-week transformation I had. Got a lot of people's attention for sure. But, personal training, 3 months of personal training is like $2,000. And that's considered cheap because here we are in Tennessee, in the mountains of Tennessee. I'm not pricing things like I would in LA or Nashville or Atlanta. So, people couldn't afford personal training a lot of times. And I said, to tell you what, do 1 session with me a month, but let me do your programming. Let me do your diet, your nutrition. And people started taking me up on that. And before you know it, people liked the results they were getting. They'd tell their friends and they'd come to me. Next thing you know, I had online training going. And I never advertised myself as an online trainer like so many people do. I was blessed to have that organic demand for it. And doing my first show really helped with that. And for the first time ever, I could say, yeah, I've got abs and I felt pretty fit, and not just strong, and a lot healthier as well. But the competition went well. I ended up doing the natural show I trained for got canceled for a hurricane, so I had to do a non-tested show, an NPC show, and I thought I'd get in last place being natural, but here I am in the center of the second call out, so I got 6th out of like 15, and in the open class, I think I got like 4th out of 11, in the novice, so it went pretty well. I beat a lot of guys bigger than me just because I knew how to pose and I knew how to compose myself on stage. And I said, for all the people that are contest prep coaches that have never competed, I think I can actually do a pretty good job, like letting people know what to expect and teaching them how to pose, teaching them the little things that you wouldn't know unless you've been through a show, been through the whole day, the prejudging and tanning and getting a hotel. And since then, I've done 2 more shows. Here's my results from the last one. I won the 2020 ANBF online. I'm sorry, it's called the 2020 ANBF American Online Championship. I won the Classic Physique Amateur Division. I'd planned on doing the Music City Natural Showdown or something like that by the American Natural Bodybuilding Federation. Of course, COVID had other plans, and the show would have happened right at the end of the quarantine, but the venue wasn't available, so I was able to still compete in the online competition he offered, which was really cool. Can't Be Early from the ANBF. It kind of reminded me of the Nick Strength and Power Mr. Golden era. Having an online competition, that along with my inspiration of some old school bodybuilders, the old school guys like in Pumping Iron. There's a scene where Arnold's on the mountain, and all the old school Silver era guys posed outdoors a lot. And so I did my routine on the mountain, and it's something I'll never forget, but that was a lot of fun. And hey, it's always cool to have a first place trophy from it. And the whole time I trained old school. I didn't take any supplements. I did things totally the old school way, trained in my garage during the quarantine. And I learned, the key to fitness through this whole journey I've learned, and this is what I tell my clients, you got to focus on progression. If you're not getting the results you want, but you're working hard, the key is not working harder. The key is working smarter too. And you have to set little, what you'd call stretch goals for yourself. How can you push yourself to the next level? How can you get 5 more reps? How can you get 5 more pounds? How can you do 1 more set? Or how can you eat better? Okay, you meal prepped all your lunches this week. Okay, how can you start eating healthy dinners now too? Or you're eating 180 grams of protein, maybe you need 250. How can we make that step? And you have to set all these goals and continually be pushing yourself to progress. And I think that's biblical as well. God doesn't want us to stay in the same place. He wants to progress us. He wants to move us forward with his will. And so I'm a huge believer in not getting comfortable, always challenging yourself. As Arnold said, staying hungry. And to me, that is the key, the absolute key to making progress, and not just being one of these people that goes to the gym day after day, year after year, and they never really see much of a change. So I encourage you to get active in my club, post in the Facebook group, respond to my emails, interact with me on social media. Let's make this a community. And like this video if you're on YouTube. Leave me a 5-star review if you're listening to the podcast. And if you ever are interested in taking things to the next level, getting personalized coaching, like I mentioned earlier, it's a much more affordable way to achieve your fitness goals and personal training, and a much more convenient way, if I say so myself, for you. So thanks for tuning in to my first episode of the Faith and Fitness podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.